Welcome back to yet another episode of Vampire the Masquerade, New Orleans by Night. This is chapter 9 of our story. As always, we're going to start off with our introduction, and since Adam was out for a bit, we are going to have Monica fill in and let us know what happened last time we played.
I killed another guy.
This is true. And that is what spiraled the rest of the story.
Yeah, spiral. Hey, good one. So I was sad and I wanted to eat somebody drunk. So I did. And
why were you sad?
Because I dumped Erasmus. I told him to get out. And I was tired of his shit. But it's just very hard for her because she's prioritized him a lot. And obviously nothing has gone as planned. So she's kicking herself and all that crap. And feeling useless. And so she went to do this, was like, okay, let me just get a little drunk. And whoopsie daisy, it happened again. So she left the body in an alley and just went home because she was fucking wasted. And also, what the fuck was she gonna do? She doesn't have the powers to like obfuscate him or whatever. So she goes home, crying on the floor. Ig sees her, tells Vicenta. And Vicenta she comes up with the plan to hide the body. We won't get into all of that, but it was pretty funny.
It was not a very good plan, though.
It worked as far as we know. So she grabbed the body, pretended it was her husband, is yelling at him. Then they did the, decay something to make him look older. So at least when /if the body is found, they're not gonna think it's this guy. So, and then Ig dumped it somewhere, and Vicenta was like, okay, why don't we get out of town? So she went to talk to her brother, who was like, I have a cabin out in Shreveport, why don't y'all just go there? And we were like, okay. And,
with 4 dots of intelligence, Vicenta really should have figured out that was not the way to go.
All we saw was one dog.
Which was really funny because you asked
That's why wits is a different category. How many are there?
Oh,
You did.
I have 3. I should have just known better.
Which is funny is because you did ask earlier, like when you were coming up with the plan on how to get rid of the body, or like how to do it, you asked Ryan, you said, okay, so Vicenta is really intelligent. I am not.
That's right.
I'm gonna roll. I'm gonna roll. Tell me if this is a good idea or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I should have done that then.
Yeah.
I should do that more often because I'm operating on about a half dot of intelligence. So,
well, it worked out just fine. We went to the little cabin, and I had forgotten. Iris was sad because she got the letter from Erasmus, or actually she was drunk. I don't know. But either way, she found out that Erasmus was going to go to the Middle East and fulfill the calling or whatever. So she was really upset about that, and she managed to get him on the radio and talk to him one last time. But then she mentioned it to Vicenta, and she mentioned something about stopping it. And so once Iris heard that, she was like, let's get his ass back here. If there's a way to stop it, we should stop it. Because she was totally fine with dumping him and being like, just go live somewhere else. But the calling terrifies her, and so she was very scared of that happening. So she was like, yeah, let's make him come back. So we tried to call him back, especially because Tony C called and was like, I think he called the meeting before we left.
yes.
Okay, yes. So we're gonna need to hightail it back there. But anyway, we are in Shreveport cabin. There was a dog. Vicenta's paranoid about werewolves. Iris does not give a fuck. She thinks she's the fucking werewolf ambassador, which she's not. So she doesn't give a shit. And on top of that, Vicenta and finally figured out, confirmed 100% that Ig is her dead husband reincarnated, who had been turned into a gargoyle by the Tremere back in the Dark Ages Vampire campaign. So that was really crazy. And now she's got the journals, she's reading them, and she's realizing, or she read a letter from Ella Messina that said, I'm going to make a bargain or a trade, and I hope it'll be worth it. And she mentioned Palagacci, who Vicenta... Payacho, sorry, I was thinking of the fucking opera guy, or whatever. And so she was like, something's not adding up here. So she was freaking out about that.
Well, she realized that the handwriting was in the letter was different than the journals, right?
Yes.
And that the signature was a different signature.
Yes.
Forged.
It was
Yes.
forged.
Yes.
Yeah.
Forged
Yes.
signature.
Mm-hmm.
And that Ella Messina's letter was authentic,
Yes.
but the
Mhm.
journals
were
forged.
very yes.
And so they possibly made Ella Messina look crazier than she actually
Well,
Yeah.
may have
it's
been.
somebody
That's what I gathered.
running around in an Ella Messina suit is basically doing all this shit in Ella Messina's name.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that was it.
I think that's a pretty fair synopsis. And if not, you can go back and certainly listen to all of it. They are there for you to listen to. But with that said, we're going to rewind a couple of days from prior to the departure from the cabin in the woods. We're going to go back to the night in question of when there was a large masquerade breach. Zamiche, shall we say, patriarch, was met with his final death. An apartment complex burnt down. And there was a long drive to, well, maybe not so long, but a drive to a house that you had never gone in, but had come out of. You make your way through the front door. There's a young Nosferatu sitting watching television, much in the same manner that you saw him the other night. He waves at you two sheepishly, you and Roger, the Nosferatu that is with you.
Mm-hmm.
Roger says, open it. He goes to a rug that is over a hatch. He grabs a key off his belt, puts it into the lock. Looks like it's a one-way lock. It'll open up, from the inside, but not the out. And, pulls it open. And you two make your way down into the sewers, or you did.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you find yourself waiting uncomfortably as Avery, I believe he is the keeper of Elysium. Let me make sure on that. Let me waste some more time and not have my notes ready. Yes, keeper of Elysium. Is speaking with Roger, getting information about what just happened. And after about 10 or 15 minutes, they both appear again, coming around the corner of the sewers. And Avery sits down, Roger to his right in another chair, forming a semicircle, with you. And he says, Roger just told me about what just happened. Is there anything else you would care to add?
I guess that would depend on what he told you.
Everything.
Which is great because you don't know everything.
Yeah, I don't really fingers up player here. I don't even know what.
I know.
Yeah, I don't really know.
There's a very knowing look when he says that.
Well, as I said, I can tell you if he told you everything. If there's anything you need more information on, just ask.
What are the plans of Clan Hikata now?
The plans of Clan Hikata,
to your knowledge. And did you know that this one that was part of your coterie was Vicenta Giovanni?
I did know that she was Vicenta Giovanni.
And how long had you known that?
I don't know. I guess about a week.
And then you didn't feel this was important to bring this information to the Camarilla? Do you know what the sire of one Vicenta Giovanni very nearly did to our community?
No, I don't. I don't.
Well, there are a lot of kindred who don't, so that can be forgiven.
That was probably a good answer for you, even though you didn't know.
It seems like he's smelling his own farts right now. You know, that type of thing. Just like,
right.
I know all this stuff, and, I'm seeing what you know, and I'm about to lay it out to you, child type thing.
Sure. I'll do it. I'll do my part.
Yeah. Let's just say that had Ella Messina gotten her way, that very well the city of New Orleans may not be here this night. However, it was thwarted. People were tipped off from what we understand, what we know, what we've heard. Still a little foggy on a few of those details, but that's irrelevant. What you do need to know, though, is that there is only other than her, and from what Roger is telling me, her child. Before, there was only one other Clan Hakata in the city, and was more of a, shall we say, kindred spirit with the Anarchs than anything. Samedi is what I believe they called their bloodline.
Samedi?
Mm-hmm. Like the Baron Samedi, the voodoo rituals.
Yay, I love
Is that Kathy Bates from American Horror Story?
I don't know.
Okay, never mind.
I would have.
No,
okay,
that was Marie somebody. Okay,
That was Marie
sorry.
Laveau.
Okay,
Yeah, never mind.
Player here. Like, I assume Andre would probably know this, but I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Because I don't have a lot of knowledge.
You
of
may
New
not know,
Orleans.
actually, what Yosemite is.
No, you probably don't at this point. Like,
Okay.
honestly, that's why we made Andre the way we did,
Mm-hmm.
is because a lot of this you're like, the what?
Mm-hmm.
And that's by design, because
Okay.
you learn as your character learns. Which
Okay.
is, there's a value to that, but there's also a, oh shit, should I know this? Fear, which I
Right.
get, and it's okay. And he can see the look on your face, and he's like, well, let's just say that they were all cults of death. And they all decided to get together and pal around and call themselves one clan recently. And they expect everyone to think, oh, old grudges are forgotten and everything's long gone and there's no problem. We're all together now. And, okay, sure. But there were things done as direct attacks upon our city by someone who served in a sect of that clan who was associated with the Sabbat.
And that person was
Ella Messina
Ella
Giovanni.
Messina. Okay.
And you see my concern, young man, with you sitting before me, a child of a former Sabbat of Clan La Sombra.
Mm.
However, you're not guilty by association, although it does look highly suspicious, and believe me, it will raise a few eyebrows when we meet with the prince, which we're going to have to.
Yeah.
There's no way around this. Brings us to the other concern that I have, that is just recently learned information that Roger has told me, that within these journals of Ella Messina that the prince has asked this Persephone/Vicenta Giovanni to decipher, was information that she met her final death at the hands of hunters. A hunter who was a part of that organization is now the chief of the police in New Orleans. Have you heard anything about that?
Probably not. I think player-wise, we may have had like a news report happen, but I don't
But you
think
didn't see it.
I was there.
You
I wasn't.
didn't see it, and that happens in a few hours.
And
it hasn't even happened yet.
Got it.
And Bacinta didn't tell you about what she deciphered in the journals.
Thought she had.
I told Ig.
You told, well, and then Roger was there.
I told Roger.
Right.
So, but he doesn't know anything other than what he
Right.
heard
So this
when
is
she told
new.
Roger.
Yeah, this is new information. You know what Roger's hearing.
Okay.
Sorry, I should have clarified
It's
that.
okay. It's okay. But you did tell about the police connection.
I did tell that to Roger, yeah.
So I thought I had my facts straight. I was just
Yeah,
making
no,
sure.
sorry. I just
okay.
meant like we didn't have like a coterie meeting
No,
where
no,
I was
no,
like, here's
no.
what's in the journals.
No, this was all hearing and gleaning stuff from everything. So you see, we have a problem. Problems.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a problem created by us just as much as you.
And Casey.
Certainly Casey. So the question rises, young, ambitious Lasombra. Who takes the fall for this? I certainly have my opinions, but I'd like to hear yours.
Well, toughy. As player.
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying that.
Right,
I don't
right.
think-
Andre's just saying that too.
So, but we went to that complex because Casey. Casey told us. Correct me if I'm wrong, player-wise. Casey's the one who knew about the place.
Yes, that's true.
And he's the one who also said, like, he knew that there was Shemishe there, and he said it was Sabat, and that they needed to be, handled. And how did we find out the fetter was there?
He knew that they had her fetter.
Because he knew that you were Vicenta.
Yes. And she rode around with y'all and then was like, here's where my fetter is.
Yeah, and so he technically used the fetter as...
They probably don't know what a fetter is. They don't know, well...
But, I mean,
Roger does, wow.
I don't really know much of what a fetter is either, but if Andre's, spilling beans and talking...
Yeah, that's probably
You
true.
can say it. They just don't. He's just listening.
Yeah. Casey used the fetter as a way of persuading us to handle it. He wanted to go in there and just blow the whole place up, which he managed to at least blow some of the doors off. But he wanted to just get rid of the whole building. We came. It was the rest of us that I wanted to come to you to talk to you about it first.
Well,
Yes,
naturally.
the Vicenta thing, which I did not know the red flags of Vicenta, because I've been hearing all about this Clan Hikata, but I don't know what the hell they are. She just keeps blabbering about things from 1600s.
Well, and he's close enough to reach over, puts his hand on your knee. I must say, spoken like a true Lasombra. We shall back your opinion of the matter. It seems to me, from what Roger has told me, that things were going south in that place. And Casey acted upon Roger's request for aid. However, it was not agreed to blow the fucking door off the place.
No, he snuck out in order to do that and lied to us to get out of the car.
And possibly let others escape with that notification. Strange, don't you think? Perhaps there were those he wanted to tip off and allow to get out so he could get his prize and prove that he was doing what he was supposed to for the Camarilla's good graces, and yet all the others are not accounted for, are they? He had 2 others, did he not? 2 other children? This Metatron?
Oh, Metatron?
They're in the basement.
Yeah, there was 2 of them that were dominated and put into the basement.
Convenient. Not killed. At that point, you hear a knocking on the iron door above your heads. And the young Nosferatu sticks his head down and is like, Sire, Roger, sorry. You guys may want to see this. And Roger looks at him and goes, what is it, Elvis? And he's like, just come on. It's that moment you notice that he does have a pompadour going on.
Jesus. Is this actually Elvis? No. Okay.
No, it is. It does not. He does not talk like Elvis or.
Yeah. Hey, man, you guys might want to see this over here.
Come on now. Oh. Oh man, it's really bad.
Yeah. I don't know about you guys, but you guys might want to see this.
Oh my god.
No, it does not. It just happens to be what Roger calls him. And playing on this old CRT TV, how that's still working in modern days, is a news broadcast from live at the Garden Gate Apartments.
Can I see this?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're up there and...
No, I know. I was just thinking it's tech.
Yes, but you're standing back far enough.
Okay,
you took a step forward, and it started to get fuzzy, and you're like, okay.
Okay, yeah.
And you're stepping back, and it's still playing. And it's a report, much like I gave description 2 or 3 games ago, about the chief of police standing there saying that it's a tragedy, it's a gas leak, that from far as they could tell, anybody that was at the facility is dead. But rest assured that the New Orleans Special Task Force and the New Orleans Police Department have this under control. And Avery goes, that is our dear police chief. And Elvis goes, and what the fuck is that? And takes a magic marker and points to the back behind the police chief. And you can see them wheeling this big square box out of the building behind, very out of focus in the background. And
do I recognize this box?
No.
Okay.
It looks like something that they would like hold an elephant in or something. It's huge.
Oh.
And
it was the player knowledge. It was the big thing, whatever.
Possibly,
yeah.
And you can also see in the background, can't make out who they are again. It's out of focus. People being led away in handcuffs.
Yeah.
And, it says that we suspect there may be arson at play. We've caught a few individuals, who may have taken part in this. They're in for questioning, but, we're not ruling out foul play, but it could be, it couldn't be. We're going to get to the bottom of it, but we'll have more information tomorrow. Avery reaches over and grabs the remote and turns off the TV and stands there just staring at the blank screen for a moment. Then very shakily reaches into his pocket, flips open an old, basic, like 2005 flip phone. Starts to dial a number from memory. Says, "We have an issue. And we need to call an emergency Elysium meeting tomorrow." Yes, I understand. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Well, you should go onto the News's website or rewatch the replay tonight. Or in the morning. They'll be talking about it, I'm sure. Get one of yours to record for you. Yes, sire. Yes, my prince. Sorry. Yes. Yes, I understand. I will relay that information to him, yes. It's very important, yes. It absolutely is. Thank you. And please know that everyone that needs to be in attendance should be. I understand the risks with that, but it's very important. Thank you. Then he grabs the phone, tears it in half.
Did he say sire by accident, or did you?
I said it by accident.
Okay, I was
yes,
very
I was going to
confused.
clarify. I was going to clarify that. Yes. Yeah, I messed up.
Just check.
Yeah, it's okay. Stands there for a moment and he goes, "There's a meeting tomorrow night. We're going to do it same times now, I suppose, after the news, 11:30, so we can see if there's any information that we don't know or something's changed. We're working on limited information now, apparently, and the avenues we had to control things maybe not as secure as we once believed, perhaps. We're meeting tomorrow at the brewery, Jack's Brewery. Will be the last time we meet there, I imagine. I would talk to your sire about what has gone on and make sure that you understand and she understands that you were just following what Casey wanted to do. Are we clear?
Mm-hmm.
I would suggest your coterie mates fall in line with that as well. It would behoove them. Someone will suffer for this, and you do not want it to be you, nor do I want it to be us. It wouldn't be us, but you understand.
Mm-hmm.
We had a deal. I'll fulfill my end. I'll keep you as safe as I can. The ends were met, but the means were not justified. Would you agree?
Absolutely not. It was not the plan that I had in mind.
Excellent. Well, the prince will certainly want to hear that tomorrow. Until then, I'll let you go and discuss this with your sire.
Okay.
Stay close and write down a number I can reach you at.
Okay. And then I guess I'll write down my number.
Okay.
And tell him, thank you for,
Oh, don't thank me yet. There are others who will see this as an opportunity to oust Clan Lysombra, saying that they're up to their old tricks again. Who knows?
Okay, well, I guess we will see what happens.
We will. And we'll come back to you. But we're going to go fast forward in time.
Are we going to go back in time again?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sure you'll want to speak to your sire.
Yes. Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Oh, it's gonna be.
It's a long road trip, so we got some ground to cover.
Oh, yeah.
You both awaken. We've already made those rolls, which is why we missed a week, because things would have been very different had people got hungrier.
Yep.
They did not. And your blood stirs. Your lifeless body once again regains life. And the groan of old joints and a movement from death to life, in a manner of speaking. You both awaken.
We better get back into town.
Yes. Jacinta very quickly changes into one of the clothes that she brought, not bought. Does cosmetics just because if she gets weepy-eyed over stuff that's been going on, she's really glad red eyeliner is in right now. And tries to find any kind of like clipboard, like paper.
You find a notebook.
Yeah, that's what I couldn't think of the word.
That's
Thank
fine.
you.
You're welcome.
So she finds a notebook and she hands it to Iris because she wants to dictate some stuff to Iris for Iris to write down. Now, how well this is going to turn out is anyone's guess. This could be very interesting, but
She'll probably just doodle in the margins. She'll probably listen to you.
so she very much is asking if you're writing it down, and she makes you read back certain points.
Yeah, you don't want to mess up your fresh manicure. I get it.
Yeah. Well, yes, my dear. That and I have to drive the car.
Oh, yeah.
So you're doing this as you leave.
Yes.
Yeah, we're
'cause
leaving.
we gotta
like,
get
right
going.
away.
And I don't want to stay here. This place scares me now. I'm really freaked out. And amazed at how fucking stupid I am. So
you make your way out
fuck.
to the car. Get in, turn the ignition. It starts up, no problem. Or the truck, I guess. What'd you borrow from him? I can't remember. You
I
borrowed
don't
your
I think
brother.
an SUV.
Yeah, it's your brother's SUV.
Yeah.
That's right. So it starts up, no problem. The headlights illuminating the gate in the distance. The two yellow eyes in front of the gate disappearing.
Hell yeah.
Gate's still locked. She drives the 200 yards or so up to the gate.
I got it.
Yeah, you don't give a shit. I'm gonna let you.
All right. I can go unlock the gate.
All right. You unlock it, hold it open for her to pass the vehicle through. Rustling in the wood line on the other side of the road as it comes out and makes the curve to get onto the road.
Oh, the car is rusty.
No, something else.
Psst, 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 psst.
What are you doing?
There's a kitty cat.
Are you really doing
Yeah.
it? Okay.
Alright, they're not making
Is it a kitty cat?
So are you closing the gate back?
Yeah.
So you go close the gate
I'm
back.
not going to stick around for the cat. I just wanted to catch a glimpse of it before we leave.
You hear a low guttural growl.
Oh! Sorry, kitty. She jumps back in the car.
All right. How's your drive skill?
I do not have one.
Lol.
That kitty had a real deep voice.
I don't have one.
What's your dex rating?
2.
Well, let's roll those 2 dice and see what happens.
Don't forget your willpower.
Fuck, does not help me.
You have no willpower?
It's red dice.
Oh.
Oh, right. She's hungry.
Oh, fuck my life. I have 1 success. It's
You
So
hit the
you
poor
begin
deep
to
voiced
you
cat.
get to make your way down the road, away from what you assume were just shadows and fear, and nothing bad. Surely nothing bad.
I don't think that at all.
And if you and if you were doing Blush of Life now, you would be sweating blood.
I'm not though.
I know. But you make it onto the main road eventually. And the reminder you feel in the back of your head, you don't know how or why, but you know you are never welcome here again.
Ooh. We made it!
we almost found out if Vicenta can skin ride a freaking werewolf. We came that fucking close.
The answer is no. If you must know, the answer is no.
You really can't?
They're of the spirit realm. Like,
Oh.
they can physically attack you as a ghost.
Oh shit.
Yeah, from what I've read, yes. There are certain, like, if we go dig deep enough in the werewolf books of old, yeah. Yeah, they fight spirits all the time and do stuff with spirits all the time. I have no doubt that it's any stretch of the imagination for them to do that to a ghost.
Okay, the only defense I would have had would be make a tornado like freaking Morgan and go on.
Oh God!
All right.
You would have killed the werewolf.
So
We need
you begin
more.
the long drive back.
I'm gonna try and get Casey on the radio again.
You're going to keep tuning static?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, unless you need me to write. Well, let me do this first because it's not gonna take very long.
Okay.
I'm still shooketh and I'm just trying to drive.
You're keeping an eye out for eyes.
Yes.
I really pissed that thing off.
She's not even laughing. She's just like...
Alright, I'll start fucking with radio.
Okay. So you're trying to contact him in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
What did we have you roll last time?
I don't know. You told me to give you your sheet. And there was some skill you gave me that I wrote down somewhere.
Oh, it's a background.
The Madness Network or
yeah,
something.
it is. Everything is connected. Yeah, it just happens. So,
cool.
But it's hit or miss.
Yeah.
So give me a willpower check. Just roll your, doesn't matter. Ignore the numbers that are slashed out. Just whatever the base skill is. You don't roll reds in willpower. At least in this instance, you don't.
1 onk.
Okay. Do you want to spend a willpower?
Because
Yeah.
you can reroll the 2 blanks.
That would be good, yes. I had 3 blanks.
Oh,
Can I
yeah.
reroll
Yeah,
all
you can
three?
reroll
Roll
3
three.
blanks.
Okay.
So you spend a willpower to do that.
Okay. I got 1 with stars and a regular.
Okay, so 3 successes total.
Cool.
So yes, you start to mess with it for maybe an hour, maybe 10, 15 minutes. Nothing's happening. It's getting on your nerves as you're finally coming back out. You know, just keeps going through like, you know, conservative talk radio, AM, you know, to like, you know, Mexican radio, to Creole music, to country, you know, just, you know, between the static till, and she keeps going, you know, Rasmus, you know, and till finally you do that and you get, yeah, I hear you.
Oh, hey, did you get my last message about not coming to Shreveport?
No.
Oh, shit. Well, there's a meeting tonight at the brewery. Where are you?
Shreveport?
Oh, well...
Where at?
The little municipal airport here?
Out of character, where is that at?
Yeah, are we anywhere close to
No.
that? Like, could we pick it? Oh.
No.
Is he gonna make it in time? Do we think?
I mean, but he's in the town, right?
You
He's
don't
not.
even know if he's even going to try to go to this meeting.
It's a chartered flight. I can have him turn around. It's just gonna cost me another $600.
I know you got that, buddy.
Don't come out to the cabin.
Everything all right?
There are werewolves out here.
Yeah,
Oh.
of course there are.
You just a werewolf.
I thought it was a cat. Anyway, yeah, there's this meeting. Sorry I couldn't catch you earlier, but we'll see you there?
Yeah.
Okay. How are you?
I'm okay.
Good.
Yeah. Okay. I'll be there.
Cool. All right. See you there.
Or do you want to meet us at the...
Who's calling this meeting?
Tony C. I don't say Tony C. That's our joke, but I don't. Whatever the fuck.
Antonio
his name-
Calbashari,
Antonio called it. He called us.
on behalf of the prince.
Yeah. I would assume. I don't remember what he said.
Okay. Okay. Y'all be careful.
You too.
Then the static fades. Get Alex's newest book on how to
Oh my
defend yourself.
I shove something to make it go to... I don't know, maybe... maybe did Quentin leave like an iPod in the car or something to like...
Maybe
No.
use a
CD.
No.
He doesn't
There's
know
no
what an
CDs in the
iPod
car.
is.
He's old. He's he's got a
car
CD.
might
There
be
I'd
old
there's some
enough.
Celine Dion and stuff like that.
rather listen to
Nice.
Celine Dion than
Nice.
fucking Alex Jones.
Okay.
Okay. We're gonna. My heart will go on it all the fucking way back.
It's the only
To New
song she
Orleans.
has.
So, yeah, you begin your long journey back. You'll be there in about, it's about 8 o'clock right now. You'll just make it. Hopefully.
I'll start writing what you say.
It's a.
I hate to be that guy, but how much gas is in the tank?
You at least thought to fill up the other night.
Ugh.
Okay, good.
It's a half tank trip.
Okay.
Okay.
It's a dictation of what happened during Dark Ages.
Oh, okay.
Which, dear listener, we will be putting up for you. You will probably already heard it before this airs. So,
Oh, are you sure?
yes.
Okay.
So, it's a dictation over what all happened during Dark Ages. It's a dictation of what Vicenta's life was like before she was embraced, which does include Ignacio and, their marriage, their children, and all that. When you get through with that, she, if I were to have you write something down, if you were to look in a mirror and use your little forget spell or just power or whatever on yourself, would you actually forget?
That is a good question. I do not know. I mean, I could try, but I don't think that would work. Really? No. Iris may have tried this on herself before. She thinks back to whatever secret she tried to erase. Is like, no, it would not.
If you were to teach me your little forget spell, would I be able to work it on you?
That depends. If you stop calling it a little forget spell, it's actually very, very incredibly powerful.
Your
Right hand.
incredibly powerful right hand forget spell.
I mean, I guess so. Or we could just pull over and you could write it.
Can you drive?
Oh.
Yeah, basically.
She can probably drive about as well as you can.
I don't think I have a license. I'm pretty sure I relied on public transportation.
You know how to drive.
I know how to drive. I know how to drive.
It's like if I've been driving us everywhere for about 8 months and you get in the car after COVID type thing. You're like, it's rusty, but you could kick off the cobwebs.
As long as a cop doesn't pull you over, sure.
She thinks about it and she goes, get a new page.
Right.
We'll come back to that in a minute. Meanwhile,
back in time,
after coming back home, making sure that Sierra was going to be home, you find yourself with her, and she says to you, well, what was so important that you had to pull me away from my fun tonight?
the prince has called a meeting. We have a problem.
Oh. Which is?
The owner of that funeral home is not who she said she was.
Oh, do tell. And she sits down, half interested at this point.
Her name is Vicenta Giovanni.
At this point, you have her attention.
Oh, fuck my life.
I do not know much about the history of this Vicenta Giovanni. All I know is that she is the child, right? Is that the term?
Yes.
Of
Ella Messina
Ella
Giovanni.
Messina.
Mm-hmm.
But that's only half of the problem. Because the other half is that you were right about Casey. He pulled the wool over us and used us to cause to take out what are they called? Sashimi?
Samishe.
To take out Samishe in an apartment complex in the lower 9th ward. I'm sure you may have seen the news.
No, I had not. Tell me, in the path of this process, what was the outcome?
The process of the
Well, just what happened? Why are we having this conversation? If someone was taken out who is a Sabbat, that normally wouldn't be an issue unless you felt the need to brag to me, which kudos to you for doing if that's the case, but what happened? Why are you telling me this?
because while we went in to infiltrate and take out the Sabbat that were there and to retrieve Vicenta's fetter, as I heard.
Fetter.
You're just telling all my business!
I don't know.
I like how this was the bad news first before the other shit. I was
know.
like, oh. He's being a messy bitch. And I like it.
Wait, what?
Bury the lead.
You did bury the lead.
Did I bury the lead?
Yes.
Well, I don't know. I think it's interesting. I just like it.
Oh, what? Should I have started with the Sabbat stuff?
That's what I was expecting. I was expecting the bomb and shit, but then you're like, this bitch is not who she said she was.
No, but
and also, Casey's a fuck up.
The prince is gonna call it all out.
Yeah,
she's
that's
gonna
true.
show up at this, and she's gonna be like, "Why didn't you tell me that about Vicenta?" She's
Yeah.
gonna do that.
That's true. That's on your mind. I just
So,
thought it was interesting. I
yeah.
like that.
the order.
Yeah.
Okay, so when that happened, when that was going on, Casey planted a bomb on the door, and when things went south, he detonated the bomb. And
She does this like that.
yeah,
Blink. Like, okay. I'm listening.
yeah,
Quick blink. Like, what?
like the meme
white
of
guy?
the meme of that
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, while I guess the good news is that we did go in and take out Metatron. I ripped his heart out. You'd be happy with that.
Hell yeah.
I might. Metatron certainly wouldn't be, I would imagine.
He's pretty dead.
I hear you. And you can tell. Give me
Oh.
wits plus awareness.
Why is she pissed about Metatron?
We don't know if she's pissed.
I'm gonna use a willpower.
In case. Well, you don't have
No.
to. You don't have
not
to
like
until you roll.
changeling.
It's not the same. It's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't. You can retroactively.
Never mind. I got 3.
I guess.
3 successes.
Yeah.
You don't know exactly why, but hearing this information is upsetting her. And she is trying to stay calm right now. And you have a feeling that probably that little voice up there that you hear sometimes that makes you do things you don't want to do
Yeah.
is acting up.
For her.
Yeah.
So, just wanted to let you know
Tell me.
we have a meeting with the prince.
As I would imagine you would. And she's got her eyes closed. Right now. Her fist clenched.
What the fuck?
Are there any loose ends? Andre.
We didn't finish that sweater at all, ma'am.
Loose ends out of the.
She's just asked. That's all she says.
Well, on the news, I did see a big box being wheeled out from that spa place, as well as 2 people they had in handcuffs. That Casey dominated and threw in the basement.
Uh-oh. Shit.
Oh shit.
Shit.
She's going to ride the wave, which means she gets to control herself, but the emotion she is feeling will come out. And she stands up very calmly, very gingerly picks up the $4,000 end table that she had purchased from Milan last week by 2 fingers, like it's as light as a piece of tissue paper, and throws it at the wall and slams into 1,000,000 pieces. And she was like, "Fucking whelp! I entrust you to go out there and do things in the name of Clan Lasombra subtly. And yet, the company you keep will be your undoing."
I'm learning that quickly.
They will naturally look at Erasmus Casey, former Sabbat member, palling around with a Lasombra, a newly made Lasombra, at great cost, I would mind you, palling around with the child of a high-ranking Sabbat member who very nearly took this city over for our, shall we, what are they? There, it's not a clan, it's a
Pack?
Yeah, our pack. Only to find out you're killing those that would still be allies to us, possibly, should we need to go back that way. That road is now buried to us, so it is Camarilla all the way. Hip, hip, hooray.
That's kind of on her. She really should have clarified that.
No, this is my... And at that, she goes, "This is my fault. This is my fault." And she gets like right up in your face, like maybe 6 inches from you, wide-eyed, very unnerving, looking you up and down like she's weighing like a mama cat that's thinking about leaving her babies in the nest by themselves type look.
Jesus.
And she's like, "No, this will be okay. But we have to give them something that they want more than you. More than Erasmus Casey. To give them that Hecata bitch. Yes, you're my child. Mistakes happen. I understand. This is failings on my part, not telling you, and I am responsible for you right now, so listen to me. This Vicenta comes out of nowhere, missing for how many hundreds of years? Claiming she's Vicenta, for all we know. Is that true or not? Who knows with the fucking Hecata? Could just be a poser, for all we know. But the prince entrusts her with these books. And then you're going to this place to find a fetter who obviously she's guiding you to it. Guiding you right into something she has to gain from going in there. And Erasmus, I'm sure being the fool that he is, making stupid decisions. In my opinion, Erasmus first, her second.
Erasmus used the fetter as bait to get us to.
Of course he did. That's Erasmus Casey. He's a fool and a simpleton and a liar. He can't even keep track of his own lies or where he is. And he'll be his own undoing. That's easy enough. But as for that one, does Erasmus know about this meeting? Do we know? No, probably not. No one knows about it but you, right? At this point, and you're telling me because you're my child, my sweet child. She starts to kind of like,
because this is actually, this is in the past. They don't know about this meeting.
Right.
Right.
We're cuddled up in a bathtub.
Right.
Painting
We haven't
fingernails.
even been called
Right.
yet.
Right.
Well, you guys got the call before you guys left.
Yeah.
So,
Oh wait, this is the night.
Yeah.
This is the night of before you left.
This is the night all this
Yeah.
happened, so we're not even
Yeah.
that. Okay, my bad.
Yeah.
I'm probably chatting up that guy at the bar right now.
Right.
No, wait.
So here's what I need you to do. I need you to go find Winston, get with him, and I need you to make sure that every contact that you've had with them is documented. I'm sure he's got phone logs and records of any calls, any times that went out. I need you to make sure that the paperwork on updoing that location is moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure all that stuff is working out how it needs to be. That your plans with the prince show no signs they're water fucking tight. That you are doing what she wanted. And the fact that these vermin had other things that they wanted you doing to get what they wanted, you had no clue how deep the rabbit hole went.
Yes.
That's your job for tomorrow, dear. And she kisses you on the forehead. And she's like, now, get some rest. You have a big day ahead of you. Big night. And I have a few calls to make.
Thank you. And I'm sorry for disappointing you.
You hadn't until just now.
Oh, because I said sorry.
Never apologize. Only succeed. Only win. Sorry means defeat.
I'll fix it.
Better. Much better. Good night. And she goes out the front door.
Okay.
It's a few hours till sunup still. It's probably 3 a.m. Is there anything you wanted to take care of before you go to sleep?
I don't. It's probably too late to do much of anything at this point. I think.
You could leave messages for Winston, get a hold of you first thing tomorrow, things
Okay.
like that. But
Yeah, I mean, I probably could do that then.
okay. You want to tell me what you're going to try to accomplish tomorrow?
So tomorrow I'm going to get with Winston about like what she said.
Mhm.
Better need call logs, anything like that. Make sure that the repairs on the building and the well, we're transforming it too.
Mhm.
Just kind of just see where we're at on getting it changed
Right,
into that bookstore and everything.
right. Okay.
And then I don't know, I want to check in on that deal with Tony
Mhm.
too.
About the rights to domain.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, whatever the things we were working out, that deal
Yeah.
and everything.
That he was going to pay you and all this, but giving you the rights to,
Yeah.
giving him the rights to be in that area.
And then honestly, there's kind of a part of me that's thinking about, sorry, out of character, sorry everyone, but going into Iris's building and searching for any notes that Casey may have written or anything like that. Anything I can find
Okay.
that I can essentially use.
Sure.
Against Casey
Yeah.
or us or whoever.
Whoever comes at me at the meeting, essentially. I'm trying to
I got
cover
shit on you. I got shit on you. I got shit on you too.
Yeah.
I mean, you got the keys for it.
Yeah, I figure I can get in there.
Yeah.
I'm looking for the note I wrote you that he.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Where it is. That's okay.
We can just say that you gave me a note.
Well, you
Yeah,
you heard
he
it
heard
in the broadcast, the last one.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
he pretty much spills the beans and says, I'm sorry
Yeah.
for doing what he did.
Right.
And everything.
Well, so we can kind of get a group play a little quicker. We're going to say all that happens.
Great.
Everything's moving forward with Antonio. He tells you at that point that that yes, the meeting has been confirmed, 11:30 at night.
Also checking in, where the hell are they at?
You don't know.
Yeah.
You could call the funeral home maybe, or when you go
would.
stop
He
by.
goes in.
Yeah,
I probably would check in and
Yeah.
have a conversation with Ig. We don't have to play it out.
Sure.
But
well, we can if you want. If
I don't-
it's all right with y'all.
I don't care.
I don't care.
Okay. So you get there and no one's there.
Mhm.
It's later in the evening. You guys had already skipped town at this point. Ig's there. You can see him in the window. So but your choice which building you want to go in first. Like you see a silhouette, of him working in the back.
I'm going in to get the dirt on case
Okay.
anything else.
All right.
That first.
Sure. Give me wits plus investigation.
Investigation?
Mm-hmm.
Where's that at?
It's in the last column on the right under skills. It's about the fourth one down.
I don't have any investigation.
Uh-oh. That's just your wits.
1.
I mean,
Can I willpower?
you can, but you're only rolling one dice.
Yeah.
And you find a few of his effects, like, receipts with notes jotted on them and stuff, like, we got to do it. It's got to be done, just like to himself.
Sure.
Or, hey, get the milk. Always get the milk. Things like that, you
Sure.
know. There is like an empty envelope on the floor that's like addressed to her and the address, but not, anything of interest in it.
So I didn't get the note.
No, sorry, not with that roll. I'm sorry.
It's not that I could do.
Yeah, but yeah, nothing really of note. No note of note. And about that point,
I wish I wouldn't have played this out now.
It's okay. It's all right. You didn't find anything. But, so you go over to Iggs, and he tells you that, yeah, they left town. There was an incident with Iris.
An incident?
And he nods his head back, and you see a body being dismembered that looks like it's been long decayed on the, mortuary slab.
What happened?
She lost control and killed this man in the French Quarter. And now they're at my, I guess, brother-in-law's house. I don't know how it works, man. God help me.
It was his, they were married on paper anyway, so that's really...
Yeah.
Did you see them then before they skipped town? I assume you did with his body and everything.
Yeah.
Do they know we have a meeting with the prince?
Yeah, they know. I've told them to get out of here so they couldn't do any more damage between you and I. They both,
Good.
I don't know. It's, Vicenta. It's like she's still getting the world, in a lot of ways. And Iris is Iris. So I just felt it best that I handle this.
You're her protector, right? As well as her child.
I suppose so. Yeah.
Well, between you and me, your job in protecting her is about to get a lot harder.
Why is that?
Because we're about to have a meeting with the prince, who has a lot more information than what any of us would like. It's about as far as I can take it right now. Well, we have to see what happens.
As much as I would fear she has?
Very likely.
Just kind of shakes his head.
I know you're learning a lot of this right now, as I am.
Yeah, man. That's the understatement of the year. Okay.
I don't know if you go to these... He doesn't go to these meetings, right?
I've never been introduced to the prince. We don't have to. That's what I've been told.
Yeah, they literally don't.
Oh.
Got it.
But I'm sure they're not going to be happy about that when I show up. If I show up.
Right.
I feel like I should show up.
Well, if you do, just be very careful.
Yeah, man. I get it.
I don't know how this meeting is going to go down, but it's not looking good for any of us. That incident, the incident that we were a part of, has raised some eyebrows. And a lot of new knowledge has come to light for people. So we all need to be taking care of ourselves and those we care about.
Kind of looks back at the body.
And if there's any way they can not know about whatever they just did, that has to happen.
Yeah.
Because if they find out that even more trouble has been caused by any members of this coterie, we're gonna be screwed.
I'll follow your lead, all right?
Take care of her.
Yeah. Are you, Nah, never mind. I will. I gotta get back to it, man.
Absolutely.
I guess I'll talk to you tomorrow. Thanks.
Yeah.
And he turns around, puts the apron back on, and you hear the whirring of a bone saw.
Mm-hmm.
Next day.
Wow, our relationship's gotten so much
Yeah.
Effects in order.
Yeah.
And 15 minutes prior to the time of the meeting, you see the Welcome to New Orleans sign and find yourself driving into the city. You may be a little late still, but not so late that you're going to have a lot of explaining to do.
See, I told you we'd make it.
Did I tell her what to write down on the second page yet?
No.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Okay. She kind of gets very nervous because it's just obviously something that she's probably not supposed to tell.
You could tell me what to write in Italian.
Can you spell it?
You could spell it for me. It would take a while, but...
We don't have a while.
Okay.
Should you have trouble with any specters? Any hostile wraiths? It's because they seek vengeance after their release. Should you learn how to command them, do so with the knowledge that they seek vengeance for their imprisonment. This will give you the edge that you need. They were released after we killed Augustus Giovanni.
She writes it all down.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
She has you folded up. Has you write down Ignacio's name on it. And then underneath tells you to write down open in case of emergency.
Okay.
Do not tell anyone.
Can I draw a little gargoyle on it? Just really small.
Please do not.
Okay. Well, I drew little ghosts in there. I'm sorry.
That's appropriate.
Okay.
I know you don't understand the significance of that.
Nope.
And that is for the best.
Yeah, see? No problem.
But if any of my clan were to find out, either the upper members of my clan were to find out what I just told you, it will go very badly for the both of us. So any sense of self-preservation you have, try to forget what you just wrote down.
Okay.
Crossing the bridge is through the marshes. You make your way through the city. Traffic is lighter. It's late in the week, but it's still the weekday, Thursday. And you all find yourselves in front of Jack's Brewery. You have arrived.
Do I have all my papers in order to talk to Winston?
You have all your papers in order. Winston has everything.
Okay.
All the phone records of when you communicated with them, how long the calls were. Doesn't say who they were, just numbers listed, they're not even highlighted. He just tells you what to look for so that if somebody else sees this paper, they don't know, that, who's this number? They've got it selected,
Yeah.
And then, also the work moving forward on the, the location and that contractors have been hired and things like that, start dates have been made and, deposits are down, stuff like that. Things are moving forward. You arrived a little earlier. You're waiting there with your sire. She sits there kind of casually, but, she's pushed her leg against yours to let you know that she's there,
Oh.
And there's a group of a lot of people you haven't seen. Some you have. Avery, Roger, Elvis, they're all three there. The Bruja sheriff, known as Dutch, stands at his post. The Ventru lady from the other night, Karen Chantry, is there. A darker skinned woman, black lady, with dreadlocks and kind of a sundress on, sits off by herself. And Prince Charity is there and is speaking with a guy in a priest's outfit. And Antonio Kelbashari is there, and there are two other people he's speaking to, a man and a woman. It's not every kindred in the city, but from what Sierra leans over and tells you, it's every important one.
Shit.
And at 11:30 on the dot, kind of hurrying through the door, maybe not panicked, but come these two.
Do I recognize the priest?
No, you do not.
Is Casey there?
No, he is not.
She's probably looking around to see if he sees me yet.
Can we use Sense the Unseen to see if he is here yet?
Certainly.
Okay. What is Sense the Monica, what is Sense the Unseen?
I got that.
I can tell you the pool real quick.
It is free and wits plus aspects or resolve plus aspects if it's active. Wits plus aspects is passive.
Same pool for me.
Okay.
I did a bestial failure.
Oh my,
Oh my
god.
god.
I'm sorry.
How would this...
So,
How...
if you spend a willpower, you can ride the wave,
Yep.
which means you can control your character, but you have to act this out.
Okay.
And that is you're obsessed with finding him, finding something, seeing if spirits are in this room, anything you could latch on to. Your beast feels like a trapped animal in this situation. And if there's any information you can bring that's going to give you an ace in the hole or something you can call out to protect yourself, you need it.
And my shadow is having a fucking field day.
Yeah, it's like, oh, look over there. Look in that corner. You see it? Hey, look. Fucking look over there. Oh, no, that's just a rat. Oh, never mind. No, that's a dust bunny. Oh, you never know, though. Could be a ghost coming to say hi, right?
There's no ghosts in here, are there?
None.
Not a damn one.
No hiding vampires either. And you are sitting there, and you know that if anybody looks at you for long enough, they know that you're looking around, kind of concerned and panicked. And you're gonna have this obsession, until you leave this room. This is the worst time for this to happen.
Has the meeting actually started yet?
Not yet.
Can I go outside and look for a damn ghost?
If you want to leave the prince when you're supposed to be here right on time.
Yeah, we're
immediately
right on the
leave room.
dot. It's probably about to start. I'd probably be like, where are you going?
Which is worse? Which is worse? Me being a wigged out idiot or me stepping out of the room for a second?
I don't think he's gonna answer that.
I know, but I mean, what would y'all?
That's fine, as long as nobody stops you.
I would roll intelligence to see if
She can't do intelligence if the beast
Vicentin-
is doing it, right?
She has control of her character.
She has control. She's riding the wave.
I
mean, can I do an intelligence roll to see
what would be the best idea?
both of these are
hang on.
bad options.
What's
You should
your
probably do etiquette or some
Yeah.
shit like that.
intelligence plus etiquette?
I just have intelligence, so
All right, no, we do that.
I'm also probably. Oh God, if I get another bestial failure, I'm fucked. I got 2 successes.
Staying in the room is an awful, awful decision, but leaving the room might mean death.
Jesus Christ.
Because your beast is acting up right now. And if this obsession is in this room, it's one thing. If this obsession moves to outdoors and looking around the building, and you start looking suspicious and aren't coming in.
And you don't know why the meeting's being called, but
But it ain't good for you.
that ain't a good look.
I mean,
No.
I am assuming it's the masquerade.
And right
brooch.
now you looked panicked and focused. And it's not a good look. You're not calm, cool, collected. But maybe with what's going to be talked about, maybe people could understand that.
But I don't know what's going to be talked about.
No, you don't. You could also, a voice tells you, just go up to the prince, tell her you don't know the rules of this game and that, you forgot to feed before you came over here and that you need to take care of that.
Do not do that. Do not do that.
I mean,
Tell her that, you don't want to bite her throat out.
Oh yeah, that would go well.
this is going to go so well if I do that.
Just tell her I don't want to bite your throat out, your highness, your majesty, or whatever the fuck they're called. I don't want to rip your throat out in front of everyone and have all your blood on the floor. Just like that. It'll go real well.
I don't know if it's my shadow or my beast, but both of them are being buttholes right now.
That's their job.
Yeah.
Is there a rat? Was there a rat in here?
No.
You have to start scurrying, looking around for it.
Can I go to the bathroom?
Surely the princess started talking by now.
At this point, yes.
Okay, in that case, I'm just sitting there looking like a cracked out idiot.
Yep. You have like an obsessed stare about you. Crazy eyes, basically.
So
You'll be-
I'm staring at her with crazy eyes.
Yeah.
Right.
If you had an idea, if you planned on convincing her you weren't Vicenta, that's not going to happen now.
That's a very good point.
Mm-hmm. That wasn't the plan.
No, I'm
Great.
not.
Yeah.
I'm just looking for ghosts. Have you seen any ghosts in here?
The prince looks at the clock. It's been 5 minutes. 5 minutes past. I don't like to be late, so we'll start this now. His tribunal is in session.
Great. I've been through these before. I don't say that out loud.
I thought this was just a meeting.
It's been brought to our attention by Clan Nosferatu that there was an incident last night. Well, let's be honest, it's impossible to not know about it at this point. It's, everywhere, and she starts throwing down papers, like 2 or 3 local papers. The headline is,
Does it talk about dead people?
massacre at, Twin, the Garden Gate Apartments, just tragedy strikes, gas leak suspected, possible arson at play.
Is there any picture with the people being led away or anything?
No.
Okay.
So, imagine my surprise to get a call from our dear Avery about an issue that happened the other night with some long forgotten pests. Avery, why don't you begin by telling us what you know? Avery stands up and is like, Roger and I had been watching and suspecting that our Zamish problem and our last Sabbat issue, and at that, a few people kind of scoff. Was active in this apartment complex. This group, and you all notice that you've all been conveniently sat in the middle of a circle. Everybody kind of stepped back and formed this around you.
That includes my sire.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, your sire's not stepped back. She's there with you.
Mm-hmm.
And Ig is there too.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
So he's like, why are you acting like a cracked out dumbass right now?
Yeah. He's got his hand on your shoulder, And this group confirmed that they were. And they had been informed by Erasmus Casey that the Zamish were there. So it confirmed our suspicions. And we had some corroborating evidence with the help of Clan Hikata that it was in fact the case. Upon consulting with one another, we all agreed that it would be in the city's best interest to rid everyone of this problem. And Dutch, the sheriff, speaks up and goes, fine and good, but why didn't you tell the rest of us? Well, Sheriff, we didn't want a masquerade breach, and it shows how well that went, doesn't it? But the Zamish are a walking masquerade breach, and it's hard enough to keep them contained. Especially these. They have no sense of decorum, no sense of... According to Roger, if you'd seen the inside, a madhouse. The fact that it wasn't discovered until now is amazing. But the one known as the Metatron was surprised to see that the representative of Clan Hikata was here. It was discovered that She is the child of Elmasino Giovanni. And at that, there's a, just from a few people. And the prince's face doesn't change. Just, just watching, dispassionate,
Why is she just passionate? That's weird.
She gave you those journals.
She couldn't read them, though.
Could she, though?
Mm-hmm.
Can
It's her job.
Can I
to
look
be
at her?
killed.
Like, really look at her?
Would that be a good idea right now? Does it show anything when you do that?
Other than she's looking at her crazed. No.
Oh, yeah.
The Sense the Unseen?
No. You bestial failured that. I'm not going to let you roll that again.
Damn it!
You don't get to fail upward here. I allow that enough already. No, you're looking at her. Yeah, you're trying. And she just, you make her shift a little bit in her chair. Just kind of like, and she starts to watch you in kind of the same way, almost parroting you. And then turns her attention back to Avery.
Mm-hmm.
And says he tried to welcome her with open arms, thinking that she was here to bring back the ways of Elmasina and to bring in her, whatever her plan was, to fruition for the city. But in her credit, she wanted nothing to do with that. Things were promised to her, and she refused and attacked him. Tried to kill him. Got the better part of her beast. The fact that her beast welled up to hurt him says something of her, I suppose. The prince says, that remains to be seen. It's not your call. Just the events, just the facts. Very well.
Is this Roger or Avery talking?
It's Avery.
Okay. Well, yay for Roger for putting in a good word for me.
Well, you saved Roger's life.
That's true. I did.
Erasmus had given Roger a walkie-talkie to beep in. Should there be an issue? He was obfuscated. He was seen. And the Semiche asked her to kill my Roger, and she did not. Instead, when the walkie-talkie beeped, a bomb went off that we later learned, that Erasmus had planted at the front door so that he could have his moment of glory, so that he could enter and claim something. All I know is that because of Erasmus's actions, now the Second Inquisition is aware that there are kindred in this city. I am afraid that it is very possible that they have actually captured some of the Semiche and remaining Sabbat that were in this area. They have no ties to us, and nor do they have any love for us. I have no doubt that any information they have about us will be turned over to them. The enemy of my enemy is my friend, after all, as we have used it ourselves from time to time. And the prince goes, so we have been forced underground, and only underground further still, because of the actions of this coterie.
No.
What do you have to say for yourselves?
It's kind of their own inaction. They knew it was fucking there and they didn't deal with it.
But look what happens when you do deal with it.
I mean, they didn't deal with it, so some nut job dealt with it. If they had dealt with it properly, he wouldn't have done anything.
And here's the crux of the Camarilla, but that's another discussion for another day. What do you have to say for yourselves?
The coterie was not aware of Erasmus's plan. We had no idea.
None of you.
No.
He was overruled.
Is this true? And she looks at Andre and asks that.
What was overruled?
Erasmus's plan.
Erasmus' decision.
Erasmus's original plan was much worse. When he brought this plan to us, we took it upon ourselves to at least inform the Nosferatu of the lower Ninth Ward before we made any moves. When we, too much to his dismay, when we followed through with the Nosferatu in the plan, Casey undermined our plan by planting the bomb. And the reason there are two people that are held by the Inquisition, or there are two kindred that are held by the Inquisition right now, is because he dominated them and put them in the basement instead of killing them.
Dutch goes, funny that.
He did that because they were going to attack us.
Well,
And
he
he
blew the
didn't.
damn roof off the place.
He blew the damn roof off because he believed that if the Samishe were not killed, that they would cause havoc again, and he was desperate to throw off the stain of being a Sabbat and prove to you all that he was on the good side.
We did learn that the Samishe were responsible for creating Thin Bloods. So, in hopes of following through with orders to get rid of Thin Bloods, it seemed like a prosperous lead.
Any of these Thin Bloods? And Dutch comes over with a folder and throws it down at your feet, and some mug shots slide out across the floor.
How many?
3 or 4.
Okay. I thought it was going to be like 20. I was like, oh!
There are some faces you remember from the methadone club.
Oh, I'm
But
sure.
not all of them.
No.
Yeah.
I thought, dear Mr. Ducard, you said they were no longer an issue, the prince says.
We had them. I had them at their throats and had seemingly forced them to leave town. Little did I know that their home was in that lower Ninth Ward apartment complex.
So they're Thin Bloods that are in the Sabbat. A much worse problem than just Thin Bloods. And yet I was told that you took care of them.
I was under the impression that I took care of them as well.
I suppose I wasn't clear. When I say take care of, I mean they never return.
Well, these rules get real wishy-washy when it comes to killing other vampires. So I apologize.
Thin Bloods.
No, I don't apologize. I take that back. I don't say that. I don't say that.
Okay,
I
that's
don't
fine.
say that.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Or if I'm saying it, it's sarcastic, but I'm not
Yeah,
saying it.
sure.
I mean, out of character, to be
So
fair.
you're just going to leave it at, the wishy-washy thing.
I mean,
That's fair.
Essentially,
I mean,
yes,
I think
because
it's fair.
because I've been told that you're not supposed to kill vampires, and I know Thin Bloods.
She speaks up and she goes, I'll forgive you. And kind of puts her hands in her head. Her head in her hands like this, with her knees up in the chair. She goes, ignorance of the law is normally no excuse, but that is a gray area, and you did the right thing.
Iris pats you on the back.
Here's the rub.
She takes her hand off you very quickly.
They're not vampires. They're duskborn. They're vermin. Kill as many as you like, whenever you like, if you're in my city. I hate them. They're an abomination.
You're gonna pop up and tell them that you killed one.
She looks a little more relaxed, that's all.
My
Just don't get caught.
get caught by the Camarilla.
By anything now, we're all in deep shit.
Because my plan was, after we got out of that shit show, was to kill them, to find them and kill them.
Too little, too late. They're in the hands of the New Orleans Special Task Force now, which is, from what I understand, according to Avery. Would you finish that part? It's like, yes, they are. According to the information gleaned from Ella Messina's journals, they are a part of the Second Inquisition. They used to be hunters active in this area, and our current police chief is a former hunter, now that we believe turned member of Second Inquisition. At that, there's a rumble in the rooms, like, they've killed us all. Fucking killed us all. God, pieces of shit. Just like, and others are just, just talking themselves, and the prince is like, this problem was here before they got here.
Listen, just like, because she done read that journal, they all had a big problem for a long time.
But they kicked the hornet's nest, no doubt. So the question and the vote before us becomes what to do. Personally, there's one who cannot defend himself here today, and there is evidence. Absence in its own right is evidence, is it not?
No. I told him to come. He's just late.
And he listened so well. He told you he would be here? He lies.
He sold us out.
No.
That's what you believe, Mr. Dukas?
Yeah, he sold us out.
No. He told me he would take the fall. He knows what he did.
He will take the fall for this.
Perhaps that's yet to be seen.
He will take the fall for this.
That's not your choice.
Are we punching the werewolf nuts right now?
Nah.
Council, before us, we have a vote. Any suggestions upon punishment for this coterie?
Why are we being punished when the one who did it isn't even here?
Your time to speak is over.
I never got a time to speak.
You should have had a chance, but you didn't. Your
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
sire is not here. We
What does
don't
that?
care.
I can't speak without my sire?
Now that you know who he is, he's responsible for you.
She has been on her own for years.
Clan Hakata. One is here to help seek your punishment and what will be done. A representative from outside our committee, but the only one we have here. Please, Rosalind, would you introduce yourself? And the lady with the dreadlocks and the sundress and the beads and all the stuff, stands up and she says, yes, I'm Rosalind Blake. Clan Hakata, former Samedi? My line traces its time here in New Orleans.
Yes. Yes, it does. Very respectful from Vicenta. Because they're the ones that are really respectful to spirits, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I'll hear your evidence separately. And we will discuss. And upon discussing, shall meet with the Camarilla as your liaison. And we'll see what's to be done. This is their city. And we have to abide by their laws. She's kind of saying this like, you poor baby, unfortunate thing,
Mm-hmm. I mean, in all honesty, I'll just get a new one if you kill this body.
Maybe.
Maybe.
The shadow chuckles at that as you think that in your brain.
Mm-hmm. Or I'll go to Oblivion. At this point, it's kind of like, whatever.
I'll speak with you and your child in a moment. And the prince puts her hand up. That's all well and good, but you see, the issue isn't so much that she was Clan Hikata, as so much as that it appears her sire was a high-ranking member of the Sabbat. That begs some certain questions that do not qualify in your domain.
She starts laughing. Marco was many things, but Marco was not Spot.
Who is Marco?
Marco Giovanni, my sire.
No, your sire was Elo Messina Giovanni. And everybody at that kind of...
She just kind of laughs again. She goes, where's my timeline? Persephone Giovanni, my name, me, was embraced in 1988 by Marco Giovanni. I was born in New Orleans.
And yet...
In 1958.
And yet...
And yet...
You ride that body. I see you. That man's a gargoyle.
Excuse me? What?
That man's a gargoyle, right?
Who told you that?
We're all connected.
Then why aren't you on my side right now? Why are you being mean to me? Tell me what I did wrong.
Wrong place, wrong time, dear. You are not at fault.
Then why am I in the
And that
circle?
will be my vote as prince to find her not guilty.
Oh. Ho, ho.
She is very easily manipulated.
That is true.
And one such as Erasmus Casey would have no problem steering her the wrong direction.
He didn't. He lied. I fought him at the site. I attacked him. Just wanted
Why
to
do
get
you
that
defend him then?
Honestly, Your Honor, I don't know.
He's not here to defend you.
He doesn't need to defend me. I know I'm in the right. I kicked him out of my house for pulling that dumb shit. I just wanted to... He said he would take the fall. I just wanted to make that clear that he is aware that he fucked up. This has nothing to do with the three of us. Or however many, because Ig's here and what's-her-name's here. So, this has nothing to do with us. It's all him. So this little charade of a tribunal is a waste of time.
Very careful about your choice of words.
I'm sorry. I take
Where
back charade.
is Erasmus?
I
We
don't
don't
know.
know. We're hoping
I could
you all
text
do.
him. Can I text him?
Sure.
He wasn't.
I asked the prince that. Okay, then yes, I text him.
He wasn't.
Where are you
At the business. He wasn't at our business afterwards.
So he's fled.
He fled.
No, he could just be late. We don't know.
If you talk
Sierra
to him,
speaks up. No, that sounds like Casey. Trust me, from my time knowing him. Past is past, but you could never... We all knew you could never trust Casey.
I feel bad. I don't know if I should mention the charter flight or not.
he didn't tell you where he went,
He did.
so you know.
I know where he was. Where he told me he was. At the Shreveport airport. Coming back from eastward. When I told him there was a meeting.
So he was trying to escape.
He was trying to go to the Middle East. He hears the beckoning.
That's why he said he would take the...
Why does he hear the beckoning?
What do you mean?
Jim just looking at her like, how the fuck should I know?
I thought everyone hears it sometime.
you see Sierra, like, you look over, just kind of glance, and she is like staring holes in her. Like, not like
Not
I'm going to
angry.
kill her, but like that's Casey's proxy right now type
Mhm.
thing. And
Right.
just so mad. And she leans over to you and goes, Diablo is okay and Sabat if you have a reason. That would explain a few things. Why he has been as untouchable as he has been for so long. And why he can sense fetters.
I don't know about the diablerie of the Messina Payacho or all that. I know that people start to hear the well, if you're not Hecata, you start to hear the beckoning.
Yeah.
She's
you're
the only
old as
one that has the
fuck.
knowledge of his diablerizing. Because I remember he
Right.
said it, but
Yeah.
he said it to her.
Right.
And it sounds like she's putting two and two together in her brain.
I just put 2 and 2 together in my brain, and I'm trying to figure out if Iris would have already made that connection. If Iris knew that only the old... No, because way back in Vegas, he told her he was already doing it. So she just assumed that for him, he just
Well,
did.
he told you when he was talking about the diablerie that there was a price to pay. Now, he didn't specifically say that it was the beckoning was the price, but
Yeah.
so you still might not have put it together.
Yeah, she probably is just no. No, because if she didn't hear Sierra say Diablerie, she wouldn't have thought about it.
And then you hear a few other people saying Diablos.
Oh, okay, so
under their breath, And,
now I'm the thinking lady me.
yeah. Well, it seems we know where the blame lies.
Yeah.
Tribunal, what say you?
I'm gonna die.
And they're all looking around, and like you can tell a few of them are just like shooting daggers at you. Especially one that just obviously looks Toreador, and she steps up first, and she's like, "I find them all guilty." And I think I speak for all of us when I say they all deserve final death. And a couple of others step up like that as well. The Ventru steps up. Yes, final death. I agree. There's just too much going on right now, and this can't be remedied, and they're going to be looking for them.
You can't. Oh, Camarilla, your boxes.
And the Nosferatu, Avery, steps up and says, I do not find them at fault. I think they were misled by Erasmus Casey, and if anyone should be guilty and should meet their final death, it is he. And then from the back, you hear a familiar voice, Iris. I agree.
It's him.
Isn't it?
I'm guilty. I did it.
Oh.
These poor ones didn't know what they were getting into. None of them did. Not even the Nosferatu who think they're so smart. No. I wanted my revenge on the Zamiche. And I was going to get it any way I could. Yep. I did it. A few others speak up and go, well, they all are part of it, whether or not he's here or not to answer for this, but you can tell the tide's kind of shifting in the room. And Dutch, the sheriff, speaks up and he goes, nah, I vote Casey. Just from the little I've seen this fuck, I know how manipulative he can be. I'm sure they had no clue what he was planning. And at that, the tide begins to shift. Until there's only a 1 vote difference in favor of you guys getting or meeting your final deaths. The prince sits there with her final vote in hand. She looks at you all, looks at Casey. Erasmus, she says, You take responsibility for the actions that transpired the other night. Yes, ma'am, I do. Very well. My vote, and since it is a tie as the deciding vote, will be that Erasmus Casey meets his final death. Erasmus Casey, I, however, being a magnanimous person that I am, will give you a 3-hour head start before I call the blood hunt on you. Let it be known, Erasmus Casey, Diablerist, is now quite high blood potency. So he should be a prime catch for all of you that seek such power and knowledge, she says, looking at Antonio.
Ew. I don't say that out loud. But
3 hours, Mr. Casey. I suggest you gather your effects. And everybody's like, what? Why are you... like everybody's... she's like... and laughs. She goes, because it's fun.
because it's fun.
And everybody kind of looks at each other like we have a fucking Malkavian prince look, 2 hours, 59 minutes, Mr. Casey. And he kind of starts to take steps back, and the circle's kind of closing in on him, and they're all looking at him. And then disappears. I was just kidding. We're going to give him 15 minutes, and then you can all go for him, okay?
I was hoping we really could get some time helping him out.
Best of luck to you all. Consider yourselves lucky. And as punishment, the rack is off limits for you all until further notice.
Okay.
Ours is just crying.
You feel a hand on your shoulder.
Oh. She squeezes it really, really hard and then lets go.
Why do you cry, my dear?
What? Is that not Erasmus?
No.
I really thought it was too.
Good luck with the levels on that one.
Sorry.
Holy shit.
Sorry. That was quite frightening.
Oh my god. He's squeezing some rando's hand.
I understand it, but why do you cry? And you look up and it's that guy in the priest outfit. He's looks like he's probably a man in his late 40s, early 50s.
She says because fate is cruel. And no matter what I did or he did, he's going to end up either in an unknowable circumstance or ripped to shreds.
We know not what God has planned for us, but we seek his wisdom and we pray.
She gets her shoulder out from under his arm, or his hand. She's not like that.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to offend you. I will be praying for Casey. I want you to know that. I don't know if that brings you comfort or not, but it does to me, and I will not be pursuing him. If you need to speak to me, you can find me at St. Peter's on Wednesday nights. My name is Father
Iago? Doesn't bode well for his trustworthiness. That's what she says, probably.
And he's... I know. But I would very much like to speak to you.
She's just staring at him, like trying to suss him out, because she does not like religion at all. And she's never seen this dude. And she's just like, what is your angle? She just can't. She's just staring at him.
Oh, you don't know Casey was a preacher.
Probably not.
No, he never told. Oh, man. Crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
I will just tell you I knew Casey in his time, at his best and at his worst.
Would have been nice to know him at his best.
Perhaps we can discuss that at some time. Come see me.
Okay. Maybe.
I wonder if Casey could hide out with this dude.
And there are people making phone calls, Yeah, we've got to make sure that, we will watch the docks and we watch the airports. You can hear people, planning.
I gotta get out of here. I can't listen to this shit. She leaves. Or starts heading out.
Yeah.
I wonder if he would...
There's a cabin in Shreveport. There's just a bunch of werewolves there.
There's just a bunch of werewolves.
The vampires won't get you there.
If you can sneak past the werewolves, you're golden.
Sierra, stands with you and says to the Toreador, that was over there, just and smiles and says, my dear Morgaine, would you do me a favor and call this number for me and tell that gentleman to come over here. We have much to discuss. And she looks at her like, and what would I get out of that? Why? What would you like? Name it. She's like, I'll do it for free, Sierra. Then, no problem. And, she calls the number and she's like, yes, Sierra wants you over here, sweetheart. Could you come right away? Oh, thank you. And clicks the phone. It's done for you. He's cute. I see why you picked him.
Didn't she just vote for us to die?
Yes. Sounds like it's personal, too. Of course, anything could be personal to a fucking Toreador. Like, you accidentally scuffed her fucking shoe.
I want you to know it was a vote for all or none, it seemed, what the prince called, and I think that was deliberate. Because I think if we'd called the vote individually, things would have been different. I would have spared you. You understand there's no hard feelings between us, of course. That one, sire, killed mine.
He's pointing at D.
Yeah. / Vicenta.
Well, I was saying my sire killed a lot of people too, so we need to clarify that.
To be fair,
Yeah.
Your sire probably fucking
I was about to
deserved
explain it, but I appreciate the explain. Yep.
I don't say that.
So there is hard feelings there.
I understand.
And I would bet she's back to finish that bitch's work. I'm going to find out. And perhaps there would be much to gain for you if you have any information. Come see me.
God, these people are going to be so fucking disappointed when they
You're like,
realize that Vicenta
I just got my husband back. That's all I care about.
I realize Vicenta is a
And she
very
hands
simple
you a card,
creature.
and it's like a burlesque place.
Yeah.
That's-
Does it have any diamonds in it?
No. There's no diamonds. And you feel the card. They're like, it just looks like a regular business card.
Okay.
Are we still... Y'all are away from us, right?
Right.
Okay.
Everybody's kind of scattered at this point. At this point, the Samity, Rosalind Blake, says, we're not done. And she leads you over to a room where it's just you and her.
Mm-hmm.
And she looks at you and she says, I need to know everything. Why you're here, why you're skin riding.
I'm not skin riding. I'm stuck.
Okay.
They know. The Hekara know. The Harbingers of Asher know.
I see. And you have permission?
Of course. With
Then-
everything that I've helped with.
Then that is all I need to know. That is the biggest question I have. I do not like those that take by force. Understand?
Yes.
Well, you're in quite a mess. And if Ella Messina truly was your sire, which from what I've heard, it sounds like is is true.
Ella Messina is my sire, but Ella Messina did not do what they think she did. That was Payacho.
She kind of turns her head.
Ella Messina is in oblivion.
We will speak, you and I. But for now, I will tell the prince everything is in accordance with our clan's dictums.
It is.
And there will be those that I can reach out to and confirm.
Yes.
I will get these names from you soon. You understand?
You have the name you already need.
I understand.
You can contact Capuchin himself.
Not so easily done by one such as that. But it is a start. And she turns, and goes back to the prince and leaves you alone with just Egg.
Mm-hmm.
That promise was the best fucking thing we ever did.
Yes.
God, this sucks. Why would anybody? Oh my God. Ugh.
Yes. I am in agreement.
You can just decide your life like that?
Yes, they do. It was similar back in my time,
Sounds like nothing's changed.
but it was not this bad. We still had a semblance that Giovanni were wealthy merchants. We controlled the economy of Venice. The La Sombra controlled the city, but they would not cross Augustus.
Yeah. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Yes.
And as you're leaving, the prince is like, I understand. We will honor the accords. We'll speak soon, though, you and I. I would very much like to hear about these journals. Tomorrow.
I have your translations ready.
Perfect. Bring them to me. And she comes over to you.
Oh, I'm gone.
You're gone?
Yeah.
Oh, you left. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Sierra's ready to go, too.
Okay.
And you're all making your way outside. You're leaving in intervals, so it doesn't look like...
We're all leaving together. We're one big happy family.
No, there's a guy at the door, Dutch.
Oh!
Saying, like, wait.
Oh,
And
so
then he's
this
like,
is weird.
okay, yeah. So it doesn't look like everybody's leaving an event in the middle
Oh,
of the night.
God. I would not survive this world. I'm just gonna, if I could say, I would get killed, like, almost immediately.
And then he looks at you and he's like, be seeing you around. And you leave.
I don't like these people.
And then he sees you, Iris, and he's like, if you see him and you don't tell us about it, that would be bad for you.
Yeah, no shit. She just stormed off.
Careful out there.
She didn't say anything.
And then,
She's wiping all the blood from her eyes.
Yeah.
And just walking home.
You and Sierra get to the door. And she's like, Dutch. And he's like, Sierra, have a good one, okay? Sleep well. I hope you have a real good slumber tonight. Or today. I always sleep like a baby.
They used to fuck, I bet.
I was kind of wondering.
It's almost like a conceding that she got something. Like, because Dutch, voted for
Casey.
Yeah.
Casey. And she says, as you get out the door, she goes, I knew we could count on him.
Those were the phone calls that she made. Okay, I'm slow as shit. I would die so fucking fast. Okay.
Boons are owed, though. Boons are owed. Come, child, I'm hungry. And while you're banished from the rack, I am not. And off you drive. into the city, further in, to let her grab something for you both.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. I love it.
Here we go.
Yeah. And that will end our story for tonight. But before we do, Iris, you make it home. And go in the building, make it upstairs to your apartment. And when you turn on the light, there's a top hat sitting on a chair.
I'll pick it up.
Just something to remember me by. I don't have much.
Is he saying that? You have to go.
I know.
I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry too. I'm sorry, but it's better this way, I think. You get a chance to live and not be under my shadow. Things are going to be right. I've already got my way out of here. I'm going to do what I set out to do.
Okay.
It's better to face it on my own terms than let them drag me. It won't be pretty. It won't be good.
Oh, was he gonna?
He's going to the Middle East.
Oh, he's going to the Middle East. Oh, I thought he was. Okay.
I'll miss you. I'll write you if I can.
You shouldn't.
I know, but I will anyway.
Okay.
I don't know anymore in this world if we're capable of love or redemption or any of that. But I do know in the little time I know you that I felt things that maybe I hadn't felt in a long time. And I feel like maybe I made up in some way, even though I didn't turn out the way I wanted it to. That I made up for all the things I'd done through you. And there's something for you under the bed when I leave. You can get it, but I hope I see you again, baby. If I ever make it back, I'll tell you all about it, okay?
That's what I was going to say. Tell me all about it when you get back. Be careful. And thank you for making me and trying to find me. And keeping me from LaDonna.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Love you, kiddo.
I love you too.
And then no more sound.
She sighs really big and looks under the bed.
Under it is a wooden box.
Is it filled with
Smells of
cash?
earth.
I figured.
All in all, if you count it, that night there's about $200,000.
Jesus! Oh shit!
Your resources increases by 1.
Oh.
Yay!
On the way home with you, it's a quiet ride in the hearse for a few blocks, and then he's like, body's taken care of. I've got what I could for us. I'm glad it turned out the way it did, I guess. Could have been worse.
Yes. I'm sorry that you have been dragged into this.
It's okay. I I've been thinking about all this.
Yes.
And you pull up to the place, and he opens the door, and goes in. It's a long, pregnant pause, as you go upstairs, and he's been thinking about it a lot. And he picks you up in his arms, kisses you, and we'll do the tasteful fade to black.
Oh.
It's the end of the game. Let's talk moments. I know there was a lot of jumping around and a lot of watching as people decided your fate. Let's talk, and we'll start. We'll just go with Adam and make our way around. What do you think Andre has learned from the first night he was introduced at court to now? How do you think he's grown and changed?
He's learned a lot about not being very trusting.
Yeah.
Because he went into it, seemingly that this was going to be a bit more of a, even though he felt like he had a little bit of power because the prince granted him that, that it would be more of a working together situation. And I think he feels betrayed by Casey. And I think even when the bomb went off at the door, it probably would have started with that, because even though we went in like heroes or whatever, it was still a big what the fuck when the bomb went off,
right?
And it kind of was probably more of an adrenaline going in there. But I think he's more careful to try to let people take advantage of him in that way, because he felt like he got taken advantage of.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Yeah,
it's a good, important lesson to learn in the vampire game. Not to trust, unfortunately.
Yeah.
All right, D. Vicenta. Started the game with a ton of secrets, and now literally the whole town knows.
None. Not a damn fucking one. Yes.
And for a clan that prides itself on secrecy and, being, closed off with their traditions and doing their own thing. Yeah. Where is she now?
She's not happy about it at all. Because somebody snitched. Somebody snitched hard. And yeah, that was not... But because she didn't even really want to stay here. She was wanting to get her fetters and get, her fetter that she knew about and get out. But then she also dilly-dallied around because, it's Vicenta and she has trouble facing stuff.
It was Roger that pretty much told Avery, which
kicked
everything off.
But then I have to kind of give them a pass because they also saved my bacon and really fucking vouched for me.
Oh yeah, they vouched for you in doing it, but they are...
they did it in a way that had the vote not gone the way that they voted, they still covered their ass, is the way that they did it. That's the way I view it, because it's
also the other thing too is that it sounded like the prince already knew.
Yeah.
The prince was
The
not
prince
fooled.
knows what is... the prince knew as soon as she gave the journals.
Yeah.
My theory. I want to know how she knew.
Curious that.
Yes. There's some stuff going on with the prince that is absolutely... I really wish I had not bestial failed on that. Because, yeah, something is major up with that. And I'm really glad that I did not shit talk my sire at any fucking point. I don't think it's Illa Messina, but she does seem to have some sympathies, maybe? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
She might just be Malkavian and be toying with you,
That is
having some fun.
absolutely fucking positively correct as well. I don't fucking know. But yeah. Yeah, she's I don't know. Vicenta's just kind of all over the place. Like, she had every secret, now she has 0 secrets. But that has a whole new host of problems.
Yeah, you also got a love interest going on too.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. It's just
Julio is Egg. Egg is Julio.
That's kind of... It's really hard for her at this point to think about Ignacio and Ig being the same person still.
Yeah, it's almost like you're cheating, I bet.
A little bit. Even though it's like, I'm cheating, but I'm not cheating because technically they married already. And it's the same it's the same person.
But not quite.
But not quite. But then again, that's the same for her too.
Yeah.
She's Vicenta, but not quite.
That's true.
Her and Persephone have melded into, so...
Plus, with everything she's been through, she's bound to be different from when she last even knew.
Yeah, it's only been 800 years, you know.
Yeah.
Right. So... And honestly, probably one of the reasons she kind of kept Ig at an arm distance at the beginning anyway was because she was like, ooh, I'm cheating. Stay over here. I just have a very specific type. A highly specific type. But, yeah. So.
Well, I'm sorry we did Heartbreak Hotel to you.
Yes.
It's okay. It
But
had to happen.
but he's not dead.
Yeah.
And
That
now
we know of for
now
now.
that she's met her sire, and all this has come out, and you've learned who he is, and to a degree what he was, how does she feel now that she's in New Orleans and she's done all this, and now this is, that's not there anymore, as far as you know.
I think her beast is probably telling her to run because the Second Inquisition is now alert.
Yeah.
And she has had dealings with them in Vegas
To
that
say
she
the
does
least.
not want to repeat.
Yeah.
So the beast is probably like, you need to get the fuck out of here. That there's nothing left for you here. But she really did bond with Vicenta in that bathtub, so she's reluctant to go. And she's excited. Like, part of her is resentful with Andre about gentrifying her shop and like, it doesn't need to be a bookshop, even though her logical brain, what little there is like, it makes sense to have a bookshop and to put the tarot shit in the back. But part of her was excited to see how that would develop. And since her ambition is retirement, it's really just all kind of roiling inside of her because she wants to retire in the sense of having peace and quiet, but not to stop doing what she loves doing, which is using her powers and talking to people and all that kind of shit. So she's very confused. All she wants to do now is just sleep forever, but she has to decide whether she's going to stick around and see what happens to this new business venture that she could sort of hold on to Casey with, because he was my business partner until I ate the crayon contract, and he did leave me this money. So it's like, if I abandon this, am I abandoning him? That sort of thing.
Yeah, a lot of things to think about.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we'll get some answers to those. Till then, though, this is GM Tuck wishing you all a good night.